All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. You know, we really truly need to talk about this because there's been a lot of people to stick their neck out against this president, especially concerning this Russian probe and that Donald Trump colluded with the Russians in order to affect the outcome of the elections. Rachel Maddow, Chris Walker, Anderson Cooper, all those pundits over there on CNN, MSNBC. I mean, it's just something else. And then what all happens? Well, the president ends up getting exonerated. Yep, he sure did, got exonerated, and they pretty much cleared him. Now, instead of the Democrats actually, humbling themselves, they're doubling down. They're doubling down as if President Boss Trump is actually done some type of way or used some type of fear tactics against Robert Mueller. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think that needs to happen first and foremost more than anything. I think that the FBI needs to be up under investigation. That's what I think. Because they also had their hand in the cookie jar in this thing, too. And I don't understand what's going on in this country right here and what the world sees when they look at the United States of America and see that people put their party interests above the interests of the people in the country. Now, we all realize and know what's going on in this country. We all know the dog and pony show. We know the mental gymnastics. We know everything that is going on in this country, at least in part. There are a lot of things that are just simply not shared with us, and we also know that they're still spying on us. We also know that they're tapping our phones. We also know that they are storing everything that we do in a database. We ain't stupid. We already know that. All that is happening, and all of that is taking place in this godless country called America. I don't know what God they're talking about because they damn sure ain't the Most High. But when the rest of the world looks at the division and the divisiveness that is going on in this country, especially what's happening. And the last time I checked, don't you know that this president is still operating 2 years into his presidency and still doesn't have a full cabinet? And man, people were bailing, jumping ship left and right. I mean, man, I tell you, when is America, like they often keep saying, is going to be first? I don't know. I think that the news media and the powers that be have too much control over the minds of the people. And I don't think that the people, kind of like in religion, people just assume what they believe is the truth. Not that they're going to investigate it, not that they're going to check it out. They already have their preconceived ideas and notions. They done bit off on it. It's been tradition. They don't give a damn what truth is. Whatever tradition says, that's the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be. And that's the way they pretty much have got their minds made up in politics too. Well, I'm not that way. I like checking things out. I like calling a spade a spade. I like calling black, black, white, white, period, point blank. That's because I'm a man of truth. A man of truth. But I do stay up on politics, and I try to do my best to keep you up on it, because when we know what's going on in this world right here, it's better. We are better able to chart our course, to know which way we need to go and what we need to do and the moves we need to make. You can tell that every single time something goes on with guns, what are they going to be doing? They're going to try to come up with some type of legislation to get the guns. We were talking about this past Sabbath, about the millennials, and the way they got these millennials thinking and stuff. You give it another, I would say, 10, 15 years. They're going to do everything they can to amend their constitution, change their constitution, and take the guns out of the American people's hand, because the people that got to fight in them, like myself, we're a dying breed. And the only hope that we got is to educate and to train up the people that we have influence with in our sphere. It's totally different here in the South. I was in a courthouse the other day for somebody else, and of course they had the little wand, and they was doing beep 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 beep, and checking to see if there's any metal on you. They didn't see any metal. I said nope. But little did I know, I didn't know I had some metal inside this particular gun holster I had. And so he asked me, the police officer asked me, what is that right there? So I raised it up, and I had an empty gun case on me. He looked at me and he says, "That's what I like seeing. Come on in and have a seat." Now, ain't that totally different than in the metropolitan centers or those population centers that are condensed and got all those people stacked up on top of each other like sardines? Total different response. Up here, he's like, man, that's what I like seeing right there. But then down in the city, man, they look at you like a criminal. They view you like a criminal if you're possessing a firearm to be able to protect yourselves against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And most of us need to come to the realization that you live in places that people are not too fond of you. As the old song goes, they smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place to backstab us. That's real talk. But anyway, I'm watching the Democrats doubling down. I mean, I can't believe this stuff, man. How much more do you need after you done had a verdict? The president's been exonerated, and he needs to stop. These people need to stop this foolishness and get about balancing the budget and stop fudging the numbers and cooking the books and make the economy better and try to see about. Anyway, I'm going to stop right here before I say something that I may regret later on. What saith you?